Guys, what's up? It's uh it's Rev, and it's been a long time. This is definitely the longest that I've ever been off of social media since I started using it. And I have no intention of ever going back to any of the other social media platforms ever. I have no intention of ever doing that. I don't care what I could get out of social media. I I really don't care what I could get out of it. What matters to me is at this point in my life uh, is having peace. That's number one. Is having a life where I can exist and I don't have to have like this paranoid stuff of worrying about authorities in my life and stuff like that. That's my number one focus is to have peace in my life and not have conflict. I There's been enough of that for the rest of my life with the few years that I've been going through certain things. Um, so that's number one, you know. But the reason I'm coming back is because I went on my account um, for the one email that I use, and it was a banned account. Like I don't know what the hell happened. I don't have any subscribers back or nothing. So if you find this, hi, what's up? But it's very bizarre to me that I logged into it and it was like, yeah, you can join because it was when they take your when they okay, for people that aren't familiar with it, the way it works is you got a Google account, and because now it went way back, Google bought YouTube. So if you get banned on YouTube, what happens is when you go to your Google account and then you try to go to YouTube on your Google account on a YouTube account that's been banned, you get this page that says basically unable to access product, which is YouTube. Google is telling you you're done. Your channel was banned on this account, so you can't come back to YouTube that way. That's the way it works, right? So I was in the account that I have just for music to like create a music playlist and have I like Stained and Slipknot and Tool and like Marilyn Manson and stuff like that, and Black Sabbath, of course. That there's not enough Black Sabbath on my playlist. I have to remind myself of that. But it's just for music. That's it, right? I just want to have that so that doesn't get banned because I like having a playlist of stuff to listen to because it really helps with my mental stuff, music. So I went on it. I saw a Revelation News account with my like an old picture that I had, and I was like, how the hell do I have a YouTube account on here called Revelation News? That doesn't even make any sense. Because I'm pretty sure under that email it was banned. So I went into the page and I have a channel. There's no subscribers or nothing, which is fine, but I thought I was banned on this account, so I wasn't. So that's why I'm coming back. It's like, if I have this account, I'll use it and say what I want to say because, to be honest, I've been feeling that once you do this YouTube thing, it really becomes part of who you are because it's not everybody wants to get in front of a camera and like record their thoughts or whatever, or give commentary on say politics or something like that. It's like a unique thing to do, you know. But I do vow with this channel to not get crazy. I'm not for the people that like are going to inevitably show up here, because I know you guys, you're if you get wind of this, you're going to be here. I'm not going to ban people. I'll let you say whatever the hell you want to say, okay? But could we like move past the last few years, okay? Could we move past this personal attacking stuff? Literally, like the personal life, you know, intimate details of personal lives and stuff like that. Could we all just agree that that's not an okay thing anymore? Because otherwise, all you would get from me in content would be, you know, the hat and the glasses right here, and hi watermelon. But I do that. I have this out here like that deliberately. I was going to wear it, but I don't want to do that for now because this is like, it's me. You're talking to me, the actual person. You get what I'm saying? This isn't like performative art and stuff like that. That stuff is performative art. And it's pretty obvious when it's done, you know. This is like me talking to you. It's not that character, it's me talking to you. Okay? But you see, I got my scripture, and I'm still the same guy, you know, from back in 2012. There was a really nice girl that stopped a while back, and she said, "Yeah, I know you from Revelation News, like when you were doing that." And I was like, "Wow, that's insane," because most of it, you know, the years that have been with the dog pile harassment stuff has not been stuff that I want to remember. But I do remember what it was like doing my prophecy videos and Bible stuff and Bible teachings and stuff. And that was really awesome stuff that I never stopped liking. I never stopped having, you know, dedication to, but definitely got sidetracked. And I probably put the beginning of that sidetracking with Donald Trump, which I'm going to speak on. And if you want to give this video to perhaps people that are recovering MAGA addicts like myself, I'm a recovering member of MAGA. Okay, now Reverend Dude, he might still be a MAGA. No, he never was a MAGA. Okay, my character's my character, but I mean, whatever the current incarnation of MAGA is, I could say without a doubt that I never was part of that. There are literally people in the country now, and you have to understand this as a nation, and how weird of a time it is right now, and the scripture like would talk about it, where you have a case of there are a percentage of Americans. You have to understand this as an American. It's really weird. We're living in a country where there is a segment of the population, and I'm not saying that it's any large number or small number. I'm saying that there is a number, which it shouldn't exist that there's one, but there is a segment of the population that supports Donald Trump, and they not just support him, they believe that he is a replacement Messiah. Now you're going to go, well, what the hell are you talking about? Okay? You need to really look into this, okay? It's not just that they think that this guy is a transformative figure in American politics, because he is that regardless. If you hate him or love him or whatever, or you just want him to go away, it doesn't matter. He is one of the most transformative figures that have ever existed in American politics, and that's just objectively true. Okay? The people that hate him can't stop talking about him. The people that love him go as far as some of them worshiping him as some sort of new American Messiah. I mean, you really have to look into this stuff. This isn't, I'm telling you, if I heard this and say in time of Obama, okay? If I heard that there was a similar group of people, and I don't care if it's I don't care if it's like 7 or 8 people. It's crazy that we're living in a time. If it happened with Obama, we would have the prophecy guys at that time, like myself, would have been going, well, you want proof that this guy is like part of the AC system, okay, the Antichrist thing? Just look at that. There's people worshiping the guy. Well, that's really actually happening with Donald Trump. Not any conspiracy, nothing. It's out there, okay? So that's the context of the country you're living in. That there are people that are so deceived on a level that and it comes from this idea that the founding fathers were Jews, and they crossed over the Caucasus Mountains into America to create this new experiment of America, and it was based on the Judeo-Christian God. And it is true, of course, that George Washington consecrated the nation at ground zero to Yahweh. He read from the book of Leviticus, and he consecrated the land to the God of Israel. Okay, that's true. But where then do you get this narrative that they were all Jewish men that came over the Caucasus Mountains? This is the cult-like, weird, alternative theology that it's almost America worship. Like it's to the point of like, we want to make America the new Israel. It's that same type of thinking. It's very Anglophile, British supremacy, British Anglo establishment replacement theology. Wow, that's a lot. But that's true. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a crew of people that literally want to bring back ancient Israel style court and law to the United States, which Jesus Christ would not be for. What do you remember what Jesus did to the members of the Sanhedrin and how he treated them and how he spoke to them with great authority, telling them that you guys are just a joke, shutting the door to heaven to people that are going to get in anyway, while you're outside the door and you'll never pass it. That your righteousness must exceed the Pharisees to get into the kingdom of God. And what is the Pharisees? It's just a sold out bullshit that a lot. You look at the halls of Congress and it is like the Sanhedrin. Okay, do you think that how many people in the U.S. House of Representatives and Senate can you say actually represent your views and accurately go to a podium and speak your words, because that's what's supposed to be in a representative republic, not a democracy? I'm sick of it. We do not have a democracy. We never had a democracy. We're not supposed to have a democracy. So stop saying democracy. It's a representative republic with a constitution. Okay, that's the form of government we have. Or did they change civics? Did they change government completely and everybody was not told about this? No, we have a representative republic. That's what we got. Okay, so let's move on from the bullshit. Enough of it. I'm not going to cuss. I'm going to do my best not to cuss on this channel. I'm just going to give views. Okay, the way I'm seeing shit. But with all that said in the system and everything, and now you see Trump with the indictment, okay? And now the other, my side, just full disclosure, like the last time I got my ID, I was a registered libertarian, and then I found out that the Libertarian Party is the #1 entity that's trying to weirdly change age of consent laws. And I'm not even going to, let's just leave it legal term, age of consent laws, and you can imagine what they're for. Okay? No. So I got to flee from this is why Jesus was a renegade, and he told you to be a renegade too. Don't run with a crew. Just be for love and peace and that. just stand for that. If you're an atheist, you stand for love and peace. It's just that. But, God, love, and peace, stand for that. And then all these other tertiary groups that you got, whatever, conservative, liberal, ultra MAGA, whatever the hell, oh my God, whatever that is, Jewish space lasers, conspiracies that, look, I came, you want to talk about conspiracy theorists, yeah, whatever, sure, okay, that's me, but not that, whatever, what is that? That's like you guys are in a Discord server, and you're like, what's the stupidest thing that we could imagine writing a narrative that this is how the election was stolen? Oh, it was Italian satellites aided by the Venezuelan government, which the ghost of Hugo Chavez flipped switches, and every vote that was in Michigan that went for Donald Trump flipped to Joe Biden because of the Italian intelligence-owned satellites. What? Okay, could I get a document that at least says, okay, here's a contract for the creation of an Italian intelligence satellite that's capable of switching votes in Michigan? Could I at least get that? There's absolutely zero tangible proof to anything that they're saying. The proof that what Rudy, Mr. Giuliani, was absolute disgrace now. Oh my God. All right. I'll just start laughing because it's so pathetic. You have this guy, and it was a sex shop behind him selling dildos and stuff. And you had this man sweating black and farting. Sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay. This man was a hero to the nation that got people through the worst attack in American history next to Pearl Harbor. Okay. Mainland America, the worst mainland America attack in history. And he was like Dad. He was like your dad. It's going to be all right. We're going to build this again. It's going to be great. And they think they got us, and they didn't get us. Okay? We're going to come back. Okay. It was that guy. And this man is standing in front of a sex shop. No, in the back by like dumpsters. What are they throwing in those dumpsters, folks? Slippery materials. Okay, you have him standing in the back of I guess, New Jersey? Was it in New Jersey? A New Jersey sex shop. Something like that. Saying, look, oh my God, almighty God, Trump did it. Oh, and he's making all these noises and sweating black. His hair dye is literally just creeping down his face disgustingly. And we look at, this is the narrative. I mean, this is stuff that actually happened. But he says this to the public. He says, we have absolute proof in Georgia. I think it was in Georgia with these two terribly unfortunate Black American women that all they were doing was their civic duty, as they saw it, because they volunteered to count votes. And you got Rudy coming on pointing at these two women strictly because of their color. Okay? Can we get that straight? That there is actual stuff like this? Okay? I think it's really clear with this one. And he says they're going around with USB ports and little small containers filled with heroin and cocaine. It's unbelievable, folks. Do you know why he said that? Because there was video footage of the mother of one of the poll workers, and she was given her a like Werther's original candy or something, like a piece of chocolate. And Rudy said that they were passing around USB ports. I don't know, Rudy. I think you meant a USB drive. You meant not a USB port, but that's what he said. They had USB ports and little vials of heroin and cocaine. Are you serious? This is your proof for election fraud. This is where this was what you were putting your hat on to say we can make all of these actions and deny that we lost and all of this. It's all based on this stuff, which there's absolutely nothing, folks. You look at that, and I'm telling you the evidence that they had. And then they tried to claim that the Dominion voting systems were no good and corrupted in some way. Fox News got sued for that. How $1 billion lawsuit? Something like it was huge. It was very big. Look, it's insane when you really the level of what is happening type stuff. But what I see is this is almost the way it's playing out is it seems like a controlled demolition of a party. That's really what I'm starting to see with this. Because if you have a candidate with Trump that all you see is indictments and legal action and going out towards the election to the primary season and all that, this guy is staggered with court dates for his indictments. You have a party that you're going to be forced to support a guy that's literally an inch away from being in prison. Now, I don't care. We're to talk about everyday Americans and how do they feel. Yeah, they might not like Biden that much, which what I see, no, they don't. It's a split. It's 50-50. Some people are like, I'm riding with Joe, and that's cool. Get the Biden shades, absolutely. I'm riding with Joe. That's cool. The other side is barren. And I don't mean Barron Trump, but yeah, might as well be. They'll be running him soon. 35, Barron Trump. That's the 2040 campaign. I don't know. Forget it. But do you see what I'm saying? It looks to me like this is very controlled demolition of a party. If you have one party that's looking like they're the only one that can govern, which right now, if you pay attention to mainstream media, and look, everybody knows the mainstream media is corrupt and they report stuff a lot of times that isn't accurate and all that. We know this, okay? But the fact is, if you want to see where they're driving the narrative, where they're pushing you towards, it's very clear that it's one party is the one that is actually governing, and they're making policy. With the Republicans, all you hear about is social issues. Everything they talk about is culture war, quote unquote, culture war issues. That's all they talk about is abortion and trans rights and all of this anti, because it's the new culture, right? It's anti-Christian new culture that's woke and horrible. All right. That's all they talk about. The policy end of it is, I'll cut your taxes. That's all you care about. So I'll tell you, if I'm president, I'll cut your taxes. There'll be record deregulation of markets. That's all they say about policy. Secure border, build that wall. Absolutely. That's it in terms of policy that you get. And now you have this document that was written up by the Republican Party, which should really scare every American, that they say if they get that presidency back, they want to create a executive branch that is authoritarian in nature. That once Trump is in there again, he can end the DOJ, he could just kill it. He could end the FBI, he could just kill it. Anything that he wants to do, stroke of a pen, Donald Trump done. That's authoritarian, without a doubt. And their policy document that they want to put in action for executive power is that. It's authoritarianism. You put all this stuff together and look at it, and it's like there's an end game scenario that they're pushing here. And I think it is going probably towards wanting some kind of widespread civil conflict to really lock down rights, because that's always what it is. It's been a long time since 9/11, okay? And people's memories might be getting a little weak of that, okay? Their new angle will definitely be this domestic threat, which they are acting that way, okay? This is not fake. You have sites out there like it's called the Donald or something, and they were actively planning violence against people on the site. You become a domestic terrorist group when that's the case. If you are talking like that in a forum, in any capacity, really, you're in the area of you could go away forever, okay? Because that's like domestic terroristic threats, okay? I see that they're going to wipe out the Republican Party completely. And if you have a one-party system, they can do anything they want. Everything will be red stamped or blue stamped, okay? That's a scary place to be. And I don't see any way around this either. It's like that with the way everything has been crafted and the narrative has gone forward, there's nobody in the field of Republican politics that comes close to Trump. You got Chris Christie out there running around trying to act like a tough guy. You got certain people, Ted Cruz every now and then, he's totally in the Trump, I think, thing. Lindsey Graham making a complete ass of himself every time he speaks. Mike Pence looks honorable, he looks good, but it's Mike Pence. Paper, oh my God, he's like a white piece of paper, okay? He did a good, honorable thing, certified the election. He did his job right. That's great. But, man, there's no one. That's why the spotlight's on Trump. What do? You let the primary happen. Trump gets it. That's the way it's looking. Ron DeSantis, pathetic. I didn't even bring him up, did I? He just came to my mind because he's like second. Yeah. People really don't like him. There's no one. The field is barren. So you got everything in the country focusing on him, on this one man. So he gets the primary. Now the convention comes. Do they try and do what they were planning on doing the last time when Trump got the nomination and there were never Trumpers like Mitt Romney and a few others? I think Lindsey Graham was in that category, a never Trumper at that point. At the convention in the 2016 election, are they going to try and say no? This guy's indicted. He has court cases. He can't ever. How could his focus be on the American people and policy when he's got all of these legal woes in front of him? And come on, this ain't going to work. Are they going to call that? Are they going to do that? And then give it to somebody like a Mike Pence? I don't know. But as it stands right now, you got Trump. Trump is even half and half in the American public against Biden. Okay, in the latest polls. They're tied. Biden and Trump are tied. I don't know how this is happening. With a guy that there's clear crimes, Trump has, and let me make my position extremely clear, because I was a Trump supporter, okay? Not anymore, okay? It's clear that this guy did crimes in every way that you can imagine, okay? From January 6th on, he was flapping his lip about, this is not right. The people that came here that did what they did in Washington are patriots, and they feel that they were stolen from. His rhetoric was all very, this was stolen, stop the steal. That's what he was saying. Okay? By his actions, with lawyers mainly, he has indicted himself. The Justice Department didn't even need to do an indictment, but they had to get the case, of course. But Donald Trump has indicted himself by his own actions. It's clear. And there's conspiracy to cover the votes, the way that he talked to the governor of Georgia about needing a certain amount of votes plus one. He was literally saying, make votes up. I need you to find me the 11,170 something, whatever that was. Find me one over what I need. That is breaking the law by your actions. It's not a freedom of speech thing. He was saying, find me the votes. I'm the president. You are of my party, and I'm telling you to find the votes. That's a crime. That's a conspiracy, and there's more. There's so many people involved, man. There's a lot of people involved. That's why Jack Smith, with his trial, there's going to be 40 witnesses, 40 people testifying on the side of the prosecution. That's a lot. They got to televise this. I hope they do, so that everybody could see the process. I want to see it myself. This has to happen, because I was a supporter, but the way the way it's looking, and look, if you don't believe this stuff that they say about Trump that happened, like he said to Mike Pence, you're too honest, Mike, you know. If you don't believe that stuff, there are multiple witnesses to this, okay? We're not talking about just, flipping, he said it a couple times. And it was constant. He was saying these things, and his actions were in court to push lies. And that's a crime. It's obstruction of justice, and it's taking your vote away. I didn't vote at all, because it was like I was done with Trump, and I'm not voting for Biden. What the hell is that? So I got no dog in the fight at this point with it, but except for the Constitution and our American system of government, which is a republic, okay? There's no way that you can let this guy go with nothing. You just can't. It's a precedent that if it goes forward, then you could have anybody that feels maybe even legitimately that an election was stolen from them, that they can make these same type of moves and maybe get a different outcome than Trump, like actually overturn an election. So I guess this video is a plea to people out there that they were in my type of spot, where you're like a conservative leaning type of person. You liked the way Trump stood up to the deep state stuff, and you're like, yeah, I'm down with that. Well, I was too. But the way he conducted himself at the end tells you everything about really mentally what you're dealing with. He's like, it's a very complex thing, that like the psychology of Trump, I'd say. But his main problem is his ego. And his ego is so large and can't be touched that it's to the point where he can't be eligible for an office. Like, it's accurate. Because his actions just tell you everything you need to know. He was not willing to go out there right away when he saw people starting to do weirdness on the Capitol. He should have been right out there saying, no, we're Americans. Joe Biden, even though I don't agree with him at all, and I think it's going to be a horrible 4 years with Joe Biden, he won. The fact is that I came up short, and I'll be back in 4 years because Biden's going to ruin the country. God bless America. And then he goes to Mar-a-Lago, and he would have been fine. You know, I don't think they would have indicted him on anything. He would have still had E. Jean Carroll case, which he's disgusting in that. I won't even talk about it. It's gross. He would have still had the Stormy Daniels thing. Once again, I won't even talk about that. He's gross. But realize there are people that legitimately think of this guy as a worshipful master. We got to do something. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is the time for everybody that says they don't have a party to come together and make a party. Because I'm pretty sure that the Republican Party, as we know it, as it is today, it's pathetic. There's no words that I could put to. It's like a zombie party with one man at the head of it that's dragging a corpse behind him. That's the GOP. I'm a registered Republican, and I'm saying that. You have a criminal man dragging the elephant. You know, there's a political cartoon for you guys. That's a really good political cartoon. It's Don. It's Don with the hair and the red tie, white shirt, blue suit, and he's dragging the Republican Party, the elephant, by the tail over his shoulder, like, oh my God, that's Trump, you know? And he's playing this false messiah figure for some people. This is where you're at. It's really weird. And it's important to have one of these, which is a King James Bible, okay? I recommend you stay prayed up and keep reading your Bible and just know that Jesus is King and that someday, soon, he's going to make this stuff right and we can take solace in the Lord. That's it. So this is JWE, Revelation News, and I'm not going to get personal. I am not going to engage in back and forth hate stuff. I know reaction channels will probably take whatever I make and they're going to do what they do with it. And that's that. And I'm fine with that at this point, to be honest. It's fine. I have a feeling that I have something to say, and I couldn't not come out and just say how really crazy, specifically American politics, it's absolutely insane, and I've never seen anything close to like this. History has been made in so many ways within the past year. It's a very weird time to be alive. But we have to, the people that are on the side of you're conservative and you're Republican, whatever, we got to come together and talk about where this goes. The head of the party is a criminal. All right. The head of the party is a criminal. We have to maneuver this so that we don't have a one-party system in the country. We don't want this. The Democrats, I don't care if you identify as a Democrat, you don't want one party, okay? Because you're going to see your party doing things that you're like, wow, what the hell is that? Yeah, they're just going to push through everything. and you might not even agree with the policy that they're going with. Okay? We need dissension and discussion, and if you have one party, that eviscerates discussion and coming to better agreements. Okay? Let's get together and talk about this. The future of the country's at stake. It's huge. Pray for the nation. Jesus bless you all.